Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Wednesday, and that means new comic book day, but I got something different that I'm gonna try this week. So I'm gonna try to make Wednesday like the day, right? Because it's the day for comic book collectors. So I'm trying to make it like the day for my channel. So that's why this video is so long. It's not just a comic book haul. We're gonna be getting my new comic books, but also I wanna talk about some of the comic books that I plan to read in the month of December. And then I think we're also gonna be talking about last week's comic books as well. So if you guys are looking for some quick thoughts on last week's comic books, definitely stay tuned for that. Hopefully that'll help you guys out if you didn't pick up something from last week, you hear my thoughts and you definitely want to pick it up. Of course, that means that we're not going to be going action figure hunting today. We did that last week. We've been doing that last couple weeks. I'll be honest with you guys, Walmart's been a little dead lately, so I think we're going to switch it up a little bit and we're not going to go action figure shopping every single week. We'll go once a month. Hopefully that'll give us an opportunity to find kind of new things and more variety, right? So yeah, look forward to that in the month of January. But I should have you guys covered today with new comic books, last week's comic books, and then collected edition graphic novels that I'm looking to read in the month of December. So yeah, stay tuned for that. All right, so something really strange happened to me. I was on my way to the comic book store. I was leaving the house, and right on the porch, I saw a bunch of packages for me. So I'll show you guys what we got. As you guys can see, I mean, we've got, I don't know, what is this, like 5 packages? They don't have any labels on them or nothing. I gotta say, whoever wrapped these, didn't do a good job. I will say that. So if this is from Santa Claus, dude, you gotta step your wrapping game up. I mean, this is terrible. Look, you can see the bottom of it. But anyway, so I don't know. We got like 5 packages here. I guess in addition to all the things I said we would do in this video, I guess we'll also unbox all these mysterious packages. Hopefully, we see where they're from. And yeah, we'll go through that. So yeah, I'll see you guys at the comic book store. When I get home, we'll definitely open these up. Alrighty guys, just got back from the comic book store. Actually, I'm still in the parking lot technically, but I've got the haul, and as you guys could see, it's a massive week. I just spent, I think it was like 90 bucks. So yeah, it's all a give and take. Some weeks are smaller, some weeks are bigger, but let's quickly go through this week's new comic book day hauls. Let's start off with my pick of the week. It's gotta be absolute Batman issue number 3, right? Yeah, super excited about this series, man. I think that Scott Snyder, Dragotta, they can't do any wrong, right? So having a lot of fun with this series. Yeah, excited to get back to it. New number 1, we've got the New Gods issue number 1, Ram V, Evan Cagle. Been really excited about this one. Been really greatly anticipating this one. Just look at the art, man. Just look at the art there. Really detailed stuff. Evan Cagle is the boss. Alrighty, next up, we've got close second for pick of the week, Ultimate Spider-Man. You guys know that I've been really loving the Ultimate Spider-Man titles, issue number 12, loving the cover on this one as well. Santa Claus Spider-Man, can't go wrong with that. Next up, we've got close second for pick of the week, close third for whatever pick of the week. We got the Power Fantasy, issue number 5. I've been really liking this series, Kieran Gillen, Casper Wingard coloring and also doing the art. But yeah, this series has been standout. Definitely one of my favorites from Image Comics. Definitely pick it up if you haven't already. You'll probably end up liking it a lot. So yeah, that's what we got. And then we also have G.I. Joe issue number 2. This series is off to a great start. I think at some point I'm going to switch this title and all the Energon stuff to trades at some point. But I'm going to be pulling it for probably the first 5 issues or so. But yeah, G.I. Joe issue number 2. We also have The Moon is Following Us issue number 4. Loving this series. Daniel Warren Johnson written, Riley Rosmelt in the art. That series is a lot of fun. We have Minor Arcana issue number 4. So my shop got this in like wicked late, so looking forward to checking this out. Jeff Lemire, obviously. Action Comics number 1080. Number 11 of Mark Waid's weekly run, man. One more, guys. One more. I don't even know what's on after that. Have they announced what's going on after that? Okay. We also have Batman and Robin, year 1, issue number 3. Mark Waid, Chris Samney, been loving this series a lot of fun. Look forward to getting into that. Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 34. Mark Waid written again, dude. What the heck? Mark Waid's a busy dude. He's got at least 3 this week. I haven't even gone through the rest of the stack, but we got this series. Really behind on it still, but it's one of those, man. You got to keep picking up, just like Poison Ivy, because you've been picking up from the start. One day you might want the entire series in singles. So we also have Dark Knights of Steel All Winter. I believe this is issue number 6. Fun series, a lot of Elseworld stuff. I like the Dark Knights of Steel universe a lot, so glad we got that. We also have Nightwing issue number 121. Dude, this series is off to a great start. Dan Waters, Dexter Soy, they're just killing it, man. So yeah, Nightwing's been really good. We also have Null Hunter issue number 3. This is kind of like, it's like a riff on, I forgot what it is. The story of Hercules, I think. So it's kind of like a sci-fi take on the story of Hercules, written by Michael Walsh. And yeah, the art is really good in this series. So definitely check it out. Really, vibrant colors in that one. So yeah, we also have Plastic Man No More, issue number 4. This might be the last one of this series, but it's been really fun. Christopher Cantwell writing this one. Oh, he had a series that started today, Challenges of the Unknown. I didn't pick it up because, as you guys can see, my haul is really big, so got to make some choices at some point. But we also have The Question, All Along the Watchtower, issue number 2. I loved issue number 1, man. Renee Montoya is such a baller. One of my favorite characters in comic books. We also have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 5. This might be the last of this series that I pick up. I think this is another one that I'm going to try to collect in trades as it's coming out. But looks like we get some Casey Jones introduction into this. We also have, last single issue of the day, we have Wonder Woman issue number 16. Daniel Sampier on the art, I believe. Actually looks like Redondo is on the art on this one. So that's really cool. And then, Tom King written series. So, been loving that one. But yeah, that's what we got for New Comic Book Day. Massive haul, like I was saying, a lot of great stuff coming out this week. As we're also going to be going to get the hot dog. I mean, I didn't mention that earlier, but we've got to get the hot dogs. I'm wicked hungry. That's what I get for lunch, dude. You guys think it's a bit like it's a joke? Nah, man, I'm actually just really hungry on Wednesdays. In the shops, like the hot dog place, like right next door. But yeah, so when we get back to the house, though, guys, I gotta open up those weird packages. I'm really curious as to who the heck left these random packages on my thing. So as soon as we get home, we're not going to be talking about last week's comic books. We're going to be opening those packages, so stay tuned for that, because I really got to know what the heck's going on with that. All right, so we're back from the LCS. Casablanca Comics just got my haul. You guys saw it was a massive one, but man, look at all these presents, man. These mysterious presents that were on my doorstep. No idea what's going on with them. No labels, like I was saying. Let's just get into it, man. I guess we'll start with the one on the very bottom. It feels like a book. It feels like a comic book. So let's see what we got. And again, man, Santa Claus, whoever wrapped these, terrible job. It's almost like you didn't even know how much wrapping paper you would need. You totally misjudged it. I don't know, man. All right, here we go. What? No way, dude. All right, guys, we got Radiant Black, the deluxe edition. They call it the Massive Edition Book 1. So this includes Radiant Black issues number 1 through 12. Radiant Black series written by Kyle Higgins with art from Marcelo Costa. Really fun series, man. I've only read probably like the first 3 trade paperbacks. So yeah, now I have the deluxe edition, man. That's gonna find a nice spot right on the shelf back there. That's what we got in package number 1, present number 1. Let's see what we got in present number 2. Whoa. And also, Santa, screw you, man. You're making a mess all over my room with this paper. But anyways, we've got Batman the Black Mirror Deluxe Edition. Scott Snyder, Jock, and Francisco Francavilla. Their classic Batman story. Finally in the deluxe edition format. So yeah, this thing looks beautiful, dude. Of course, this includes Detective Comics numbers 871 to 881. And it's got an exclusive new cover, plus it's got a bunch of sketches, layouts, and a lot of other bonus extras there. So yeah, really exciting stuff, man. I have this in a trade paperback. I have not read it, actually. I've been meaning to read it for a really long time, but now I got the deluxe edition, so thank you, Santa, I guess. Yeah, let's just go with this next one, alright? So this one feels like it's 2 things, though. That's why it's weird. Looks like we've got a little compendium going on. We have Sex Criminals, the complete edition. Matt Fraction, Chip Zdarsky. There's the spine there. This is a soft cover compendium, and it includes the entire Sex Criminals series, issues number 1 through 30, and issue number 69. You see what they did there? You see it. Yeah, so that's what we got here, man. Sex Criminals, the entire collection. So the story behind this is that it's a male and a female as depicted there on the cover, and whenever they do the dirty, time freezes. So you guys see there, you have you know what, and then you stop time, and then you're able to rob banks. So they use their newfound powers to do some criminal stuff. So yeah, man, really looking forward to this. Been meaning to read this for a really long time. Chip Zdarsky, Matt Fraction, Legends. So yeah, man, excellent stuff, dude. So we got 3 comic books so far from this mysterious sender. But in that, like I said, it had 2 things. Here's the second thing it included. Got the Dan Mora Batman Superman Fusion, McFarlane Toys, DC Comics. Dan Mora, like I said, his artwork featured there on the back. One of the coolest parts about Batman Superman World's Finest was this fusion that happened really early in the series. So yeah, man, Santa Claus or whoever is hooking us up with some action figures as well. So really cool. We'll get this guy open, man. Let's do a review while we're at it. So yeah, I look forward to that. And this looks like another action figure, I guess. Let's see what we got. Yo, we got the Damian Wayne Robin, bro. The Damian Wayne Robin. So this is the Frank Quietly design. So this will match the Dick Grayson Batman that they released recently that I have back there on the shelf, right there. So yeah, man, this will pair up really nice. I'll probably put this on like the Teen Titans Young Justice shelf. So yeah, dude, really cool stuff, man. Santa Claus or whoever hooking us up with some action figures. Same thing, man. Let's get this guy open and reviewed for you guys as well. Last package here. Interesting. So this is from the series 8 Billion Genies. You guys see there on the label. So yeah, this is like a stuffed animal plush of one of the genies from 8 Billion Genies, dude. That's awesome. I got the deluxe edition right here. I had no idea they even did a bunch of plushes, dude. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So this guy go right on the shelf. I got my own little 8 Billion Genie. I guess it also came with, whatever this is, like a coaster? Oh, the back says the lamp wick, which is the where the story takes place in 8 Billion Genies here. So, huh. Interesting, man. I didn't even know they did an action figure or a plush for that. Alrighty. Fresh out the box, we've got the Damian Wayne Robin. So he comes with a hood. As you guys can see that, well, you know, I didn't put it on very well, but he comes with a hood. It's actually like a wired hood too. I was very surprised to see that. So he's got his little hoodie on there, and then the cape, you know, is wired as well. Let's get this guy underneath the camera here and get a closer look. Like I was saying, this Damian Wayne comes with a hood. Very cool look. The colors are great. They're really popping. The green, the red, and the yellow. They're really you know, classic costume here. So it looks like the wire, does it go in the, yeah, it looks like there is a wire that runs along the bottom of the cape as well. So that's really cool to see added. So awesome cape there. And yeah, this is a great Damian Wayne figure. Of course, it's got your, you know, your typical McFarlane articulation. It looks like the legs, maybe you can only, you know, it's kind of like his suit's little stopping his legs from popping out like that. Popped off his leg, actually. That's never good. That's not a good sign. So yeah, it looks like his leg, it's kind of tough to get him in a high kick because of his costume. Of course, he's got his double jointed knees right there. And then on the foot, you get the toe articulation. Looks like this is on it's like a ratcheted joint down here on his ankles. Pretty classic for McFarlane. On his hands, it's got no hand swaps here, but it does look like his hands do the 360, classic. You know, you got your bicep swivel as well. So yeah, just your classic, you know, typical articulation points for this McFarlane. And then it's also comes with a sword. You got Damian Wayne's sword there. That in his hand. In addition to the sword, it's got you know, Mr. Pig mask that's like cracked in half. So that's interesting to see there. It's weird. It's like, okay, cool, McFarlane, you gave me this accessory, but like, what do I do with it, bro? Like, it doesn't go in his hand, or I guess it might might go in his hand, but it also comes with, you know, your dinky little McFarlane stand there, and then you have your Page Punchers card. So it's slightly different. You got the great frame, you know, you got the great artwork there, but then there's the data file if anybody wants to read it. So yeah, you can pause the video there. But yeah, that's what we got going on with this Robin. Like I said, man, awesome figure. This is going right on the Justice League Young Justice shelf. Really cool stuff. Thank you, Santa, or whoever sent this, man. Shout out. Alrighty, as far as this Dan Mora design Batman Superman fusion, I mean, this guy's awesome as well. So he's got you know, great colors. I mean, just the, you know, you're just looking at the entire colors all the way around. Great you know, symbols on the front and the back. Just the red's really popping. The blue as well. And then, you know, he's got a little bit of green details like you see here on his hands. And then kind of like on the inside of his forearms is a little bit of green there. So yeah, let's get this guy underneath the camera and take a closer look. So obviously, you know, the portrait, there's not much to say about this guy's portrait. Just a classic Batman kind of head, cowl. You can't see his mouth. You know, great detail. This might be a body buck that's been used before. It doesn't ring any bells off the top of my head, but it looks like you got your typical McFarlane articulation. It looks like his belt kind of restricts his legs from going a little wider than that. He does kind of do a high kick. Same thing though, his belt kind of restricts that. Crunchy double jointed knees. You know, classic there, classic McFarlane knees. He does have that ratcheted ball joint on his ankle there, and then it looks like you get the toe articulation. So yeah, just your classic, you know, McFarlane. His arms are a little loose. I guess that's not, you know, could be worse, but they are a little loose. Noticing a bunch of detail on his kind of shoulders there, and his legs. You see kind of design going down. Oh, on his side there as well. So yeah, dude, this is a really great figure. He's got his bicep swivel, you know, wrist peg, ab crunch is looking pretty decent ab crunch. That's probably about as much as I can do without hurting the figure at all. Head tilt, try to see if you can get him in a Superman kind of pose. Not really. I mean, you're gonna want this head to tilt just a tiny bit more. So yeah. In terms of what he comes with, he also comes with 3 different batarangs. So we have, you know, kind of like this, you know, lime green sort of batarang. So we got 3 of those, and then he comes with a swappable hand, a swappable left hand, no swappable right hand. That's the only one. Interesting to see that. And then you got your dinky little stand here, classic, and then the art card featuring Dan Mora's beautiful, beautiful Batman Superman fusion. From Batman and Superman World's Finest, Mark Waid written, obviously, and there's the data file. You guys can pause if you'd like to read that. Crazy stuff going on. We've got 2 figures. We've got the 8 Billion Genies kind of plush that we got going on, and then we got Sex Criminals by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky, the complete collection. Excited to check that at some point. We have the Batman Black Mirror, you know, Batman Black Mirror Deluxe Edition, really cool. And then last but not least, we've got the Radiant Black, what do they call it? The Massive Edition, pretty much a Deluxe Edition, book number 1, Radiant Black there. Yeah, so that's a comic book Christmas, man. Thank you to Santa or whoever sent this out to me. Real quick before I let you guys go, let's talk about some of the collected edition comic books that I'm looking to read in the month of December. December is a busier month for me, so I've got kind of a, you know, decent sized stack of collected editions that I'm looking to read this month. 2 kind of larger things and then 1 thing that's a little bit smaller. So let's get into it. I'll show you guys what we got. So for this month, the month of December, first thing up that I wanted to read was Blankets by Craig Thompson, 20th anniversary edition. So this is a great story so far. As you guys can see, I'm more than halfway done. But it's kind of this story about this guy, and you know, he's growing up. It's like a coming of age story. It kind of takes place in 2 different time periods. One where he's kind of the older brother, and it's kind of like that experience of living in the Midwest as an older brother in a heavily religious and strict family. And then, you know, obviously he's living in the same family, but he does meet a girl in high school. So the other portion of this book is about, you know, this guy and this girl and the kind of relationship that they start. So it's a really, really great read so far. One of the best comic books I've ever read. In the top 20 in terms of comic book series for sure. I know it's going to end there for sure. So yeah, definitely check out Blankets by Craig Thompson. There's a reason why this thing is winning so many awards, man. But to give you guys a little bit of the art. So it's got, you know, your classic black and white art. But man, Craig Thompson is just such a great cartoonist. As you guys are seeing, just some of the layouts, and I don't know, it's really hard to describe the way that his cartooning is. Like, it's just very fluid, very easy to read. He's got really interesting panel layouts sometimes as well. A lot of great detail whenever he wants to, and it's just a really competent read. Like, you can tell that this is a really you know, like a labor of love for Craig Thompson, and I believe it's mostly autobiographical. I guess I don't know if it you know, is 100% true to his life, but I really do think it is. Just the way he's describing these scenes in great detail. It's a little bit of a hard read sometimes in terms of some of the subject matter, so trigger warnings and all that stuff, but definitely check out Blankets by Craig Thompson. It is not you know, something you'll ever forget, so definitely been loving that series. And then we also have Klaus. Grant Morrison, Dan Mora's Klaus. This is like the complete edition that they released recently. I think it's on a Kickstarter, so definitely wanted to support this series and get the entire Klaus all in one. So as I'm flipping through, you guys are going to be seeing the incredible Dan Mora artwork. I mean, this is just some of the best stuff that you can get in comic books. Honestly, Dan Mora's stuff is just so good. But obviously, this is the story of Santa Claus and kind of his origin, but with a twist, right? This is Santa Claus if he was a superhero. So Grant Morrison is writing some really great superhero content here, and then Dan Mora is just, I mean, superhero Santa Claus. What else do you need to say, right? The super fun series. I've read the first, I guess, what would you call it? Like the first trade that they ever released of this, but the rest of this is going to be totally new to me. So probably right about here is where I'm going to be starting to read. So we'll be getting into some Klaus. I think that'll be, yeah, so about like half of this material I haven't read before, man. So this should be a great way to get in the kind of the Christmas spirit, right? So next week, Christmas time, I'll be trying to finish Klaus next week before Christmas. So yeah, we got that. And then finally, last but not least, this tiny little guy here, we have Friday, Book 1, The First Christmas. This was written by Ed Brubaker. You guys know I'm a huge Ed Brubaker fan. My shelf back there, the one I just pointed to, is all Ed Brubaker. And the artist here is Marcos Martin with Munsa Vincente, I believe. I don't know who the artist, who colors, who arts, who does the drawing and all that stuff. But great art style as I'm flipping through. From what I understand, this is kind of like a murder mystery type of story. But originally it was digital, and this of course won the Eisner. So I'm gonna be checking out this Friday series. Ed Brubaker written, like I said. So trying to read more Ed Brubaker stuff. That was one of my reading goals of the year, and I've been doing a really good job of it. So yeah, that's what we got. And then, last but not least, but this is not a comic book, it's a book with words, dude. We got Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary. This is a book that everybody's probably heard about a little bit. The guy who wrote The Martian, it's all about this guy who's out in space alone. He was sent on this mission, and he's forgotten like every single thing about himself. So he's suffering from like crazy amnesia. So as he's on this ship alone, he's trying to figure out why he's on the ship, like what the mission is, and he's also trying to remember who he is himself. He's trying to remember who he is. So yeah, really interesting stuff so far. As you guys can see, I'm not that far done with it. This will probably take me longer than, I only read it, I'm reading a lot of comic books, all right guys? So this will take me a little bit to read to finish it, but yeah, hopefully sometime this month or sometime in January. So yeah, that's what we got for the month of December. Those are all the collected edition comic books and, one book with words that I'm looking to read in the month of December. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this portion of the video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let's do a quick rapid fire comic book reviews. These are all going to be stuff that came out last week. So for New Comic Book Day, December 11th, if you guys are interested in any of these, make sure you go back to your LCS and pick them up. First up, we got Batman Dark Patterns. What a great series, man. Hayden Sherman is just killing it. Dan Waters writing this. Really interesting villain, and this is just like a must-read Batman story. It's probably the best one that I've read in a really long time. Like I'm saying, guys, don't pick up Chip Zdarsky's. You know what I'm saying? If you're on that, this is like a true to form Batman series. He's doing detective stuff. It's at a very early point in his career, and yeah, the artwork from Hayden Sherman is just stand out. Next up, we've got The City Beneath Her Feet. James Tynion IV with Elsa Chartier, Jordi Belair. Excellent stuff. I'm gonna show you guys the art. That should be all that's needed to kind of convince you guys to buy this. The story is about this girl who is a writer. She's kind of suffering from writer's block, and then she meets this girl on the cover. So she is like the most interesting girl in the world, but she's also an assassin. So this writer and this girl, they kind of sort of form like a relationship, but maybe it's a relationship that can never be, because as an assassin, I mean, how do you really, what are you gonna start a family, right? It's kind of weird. So yeah, interesting stuff so far. Elsa Chartier's artwork is just incredible with Jordi Belair's coloring. That's just a match made in heaven. And it's interesting to see James Tynion IV doing a slightly different genre than I've seen him do. Kind of like a thriller, more or less so like the horror type of stuff. So yeah, that's been really good. Ultimate Universe, 1 year in. So in this, we kind of get like a behind the scenes of the Makers Council, kind of what they've been doing all this time. And we get introduced to the new organization, HAND. It's sort of like SHIELD, but it's like another acronym. I forget what it is. And then we get introduced to this universe's Nick Fury. So yeah, just like an interesting kind of look behind the curtains on what's going on in terms of what's going on with the maker side of things. So that's what we got there. Superwoman Special. So this is how Superwoman got her powers. This latest iteration of Superwoman. Joshua Williamson written. This had some really great stuff, man. The artist kind of switched, from page to page, but I think the entire story that they were telling was really good. We also have Ultimate X-Men issue number 10. Peach Mocha writing this one. Some answers are being, some answers are finally coming from the series, and yeah, this series is just stand out so far. Up until like issue 4, it was a little iffy, but I think ever since they kind of got the team together, this series has been really stand out. It feels like every issue is a little short though. Like it feels like I don't know. The pacing in this series is a little weird. That's the only thing I could say bad about it. But we also have Transformers issue number 15. This was a great This was a great issue. We're kind of just, after the Starscream kind of origin, we're just carrying on from there. So, excellent stuff. We get some. I mean, just the Decepticons are just brutal in this, man. They really, and then also we get maybe some battles between the different, Decepticon organization. Maybe there's some backstabbing going on. So really interesting stuff there. Green Lantern issue number 18. This one was cool. We have some great artwork from Zermanico. I hope I'm saying that right, but Zermanico. But yeah, so it's just the kind of everything coming to a head in terms of what was going on in the Green Lantern side of things. So this seems like kind of an issue where they kind of ended things on kind of like a high note, and we'll see what happens, how it leads into kind of what's it called, Fractured Spectrum or something like that, the new event they got going on. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in like kind of the space side of what's going on with DC, this is like the book for you. Starting to cool down a little bit on this. It's just a little convoluted. It feels like there's a lot of threads that they've got going. But we also have Batman and Robin issue number 16. Philip Kennedy Johnson writing this one. This series has been good, man. The only thing that's wrong with this series, honestly, is that the Damian Wayne depiction is just like super crazy. So like, look right here, right? He's like a teen, right? He's like wicked tall and stuff like that. That's like kind of the Damian that I'm used to from reading Absolute Power and all the mainline stuff. But maybe like 2 issues ago, they depicted Damian as like an 11-year-old kid. It's like he's all over the place. I wish they would just kind of standardize and have like one Damian design. But it's an interesting mystery. So far, and the Batman and Robin dynamic is there. So if you're looking for like a Bruce and Damian type of thing, this is gonna scratch your itch for sure. I've been liking this one a lot. last single issue we're talking about today is Cruel Universe issue number 5. This is Oni Press's horror anthology underneath the EC Comics label, and this is the last one, at least for now. So with issue number 5, they're kind of ending the series, putting it on hold for a little bit. You know, I would like to see them continue this every single year at least. I think that these sci-fi horror anthologies kind of were a little bit better, in my opinion, compared to like just a straight horror one. I really like the sci-fi slant. It reminds me of like Twilight Zone, right? So I think that's why I love it so much. But yeah, that was all the comic books that released last week. Those are my quick little thoughts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you guys pick up some of these if you missed them last week. And yeah, look forward to next week. We'll be doing the same thing for this week's new comic book day, December 18th. So yeah, so that's what we got for a comic book Christmas part 1. You guys saw what I'm reading in December. You guys saw, you know, my comic book haul for the day, but you also saw all those weird presents that someone left me, man. So yeah, interesting stuff. We'll see if that happens again next week. Christmas is next week. We'll see if I get any more weird random presents. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this mega sized new comic book day haul. We're gonna be doing this into the future too, so look forward to it. We're gonna try to switch it up a little bit. We're gonna be doing a haul, and then we're gonna be throwing in some other things as well. New comic book day haul, but then switching it up, talking about some reads, reviews, previews, and that sort of thing. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics.